But Isa alayhi salam will always testify to the honor of his mother Maryam alayhi salam and is a part of fulfilling that honor. So وَبَرًّا بِوَالِدَتِي وَلَمْ يَجْعَلْنِي جَبَّارًا شَقِيًّا. There are other prophets that came before Isa alayhi salam that raised the dead. There are other prophets, so you can actually read about some of the Old Testament prophets that raised the dead, that raised 700 people at a time. You can read about old prophets that cured the blind, that cured the lepers. But Isa alayhi salam is the first baby ever and the only prophet to ever speak from the cradle. So this is actually his first miracle. And it's interesting because the Prophet ﷺ said that there are 3 times that a baby spoke from the cradle. And all 3 times that was to clear a slander. So it was actually to clear someone's name. The first one is the story of Isa alayhi salam when he spoke to clear his mother's name. The second one was the worshipper Jurayj. Jurayj was a worshipper of Bani Israel who would worship Allah, and his mother called him to come and to serve her, to do some housework. And Jurayj said, I'm too busy in my worship of Allah. She made dua to Allah. She supplicated to Allah that he would not die until he met the adulteress. He didn't know what that meant. Allah answered her dua, sent an adulteress to Jurayj holding a baby, saying that that's the father of this child. And then Allah inspired the baby to speak in defense of Jurayj and say, actually, that's not the father. So Allah both answered the dua of the mother while still honoring the worship of that man. So it cleared a slander. The third time, and this is a hadith in Bukhari, as I said, from Abu Hurairah. It's a very powerful story. The Prophet ﷺ said, a lady from Bani Israel, so all 3 times from the children of Israel. And the Prophet ﷺ said, حَدِّثُوا عَنْ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ فَإِنَّ فِيهِمُ الْعَجَائِبِ. Strange things used to happen to the children of Israel, so you should recount those stories. That there was a lady from Bani Israel that was nursing her child when a handsome rider passed by her. And as she's nursing her child and that handsome rider passed by her, she said, oh Allah, make my child like that man. She looked at that man riding by, a stallion, a knight, and said, oh Allah, make my child like that man. The child spoke and said, Allahumma la taj'alni mithlahu. Oh Allah, don't make me like that man. So then he went back to suckling from his mother. Then another woman is she's a slave, she's downtrodden, she is one of the outcasts of society. Another person walks by, and this person is humiliated. He doesn't look as brave and courageous as the other rider. He doesn't have those characteristics. And as this woman is holding this child of hers, and then the child sees a slave girl. So I'm sorry, it's not a man actually. This time it's a woman. Sees a slave girl. The child, she sees that slave girl and she says, oh Allah, don't make my child like that slave girl. Like, for some reason the child spoke and didn't want to be this great warrior or stallion. So don't make my child like that slave girl. And then the child said, Allahumma ja'alni mithlaha. Oh Allah, make me like her. Because she was a righteous woman. And when she asked why, the child responded, Ar-raqibu jabbaran min al-jababira, that the one who was riding, the knight, is an arrogant man. He's one of the tyrants amongst the tyrants. وَالْأَمَةُ يَقُولُونَ لَهَا سَرَقْتِ زَنَيْتِ. And the slave girl, they blame her for stealing and committing adultery.